on here. I'm going to go straight to the pledge. Then I'm going to go to the music and I'll be back. Hopefully some people will show up. Good to see you, Bill. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA.
So, these people are going to the Williams house.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave their lives to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt about this land. God bless the USA.
I cleaned your house. I was at our house the other day. And it's still in it. And you know, the head of it, and there's a nice concept. They just put one on his house. I think it's for 4,000. And we're going to have money. They said the $2,500 more. If they would put
Next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
I would be happy to keep spending $4,500 more in this show. Some people you just can't help. Hello, everyone. Jeffrey and Richard. Something with a T, Dileaks 22 or whatever. One voice is here. It's not showing me how many. It's not showing me how many people's here, so I really don't know. But if there's any new people on here tonight, this is how we start pretty much every show, with the Pledge of Allegiance and with Proud to be an American. If you're from the United States, you should be proud to be an American. If you're from another country, you should be proud to be an American still, but you should also be proud to be from your country first. Everybody knows the story of the girl I write in the Ukraine, and she lives by that. She's proud to be a Ukrainian, but if she ever comes here, she will be proud to be an American. And see, guys, we don't have a lot of things we can do. We don't have a lot of things we can say, but one thing we can do is we can be proud. We can stand up for our country, and that's something that really, really needs to be done. I don't know where the show's going to go tonight. I really don't. I I have some ideas. I got some things I want to share, but to really tell you where the show's going to go, I don't know. See, because they are really clamping down on shows such as this. They don't clamp down on us because they may not even know we exist. We have a little over 3,000 followers. It wasn't always like that, but from day one, we, as the song said, we are family. And that's how we've always been with this show. We didn't care if we had 10 people or if we had 10,000. I've passed on certain situations where I could have got help to get thousands and thousands and thousands of people and made a lot of money. But I didn't start doing this for money. And that's one of the things we're going to start and talk about tonight. Beware, guys. It's like every time you turn around, the scammers are out there. I have a couple of things I want to share about scamming to be aware of, and you'll see what I mean. It's just, it's you know, when the hat took over, and if you are new here tonight, Janet and Papa G, good to see you guys. If you are new here tonight and you don't know who I mean by the hat, you know, and things like that, if I say something you don't understand, just ask the people in chat and they will gladly tell you. But we have to speak in a little bit of code here because everybody else can say the people's names. You know what I think is funny? I had something pop up on this particular, not my channel, but on this particular page. Not this page here, but you know what I mean? The tube. That's you should know what I mean when I say the tube. And it was about a mom whose son was well taken care of in a certain spot. And she just had to try it for a test run. I'm thinking, are you freaking kidding me? We get kicked off for saying the President of the United States' name or something about 2020. And this lady can come on and brag about sleeping with her son. This is a sick world. You know, every time I think it's going to start getting better, we take 2 steps back. I did think it was funny because someone that I care for, I like, because I love golf, and that's Ty Trump. And supposedly she couldn't go to the Masters this year. Imagine that. A 17-year-old couldn't go to a Masters. Now, to me, when it comes to a sporting event, unless it's the White Sox, Bulls, Bears, or Blackhawks in the championship, to me, the greatest event to me is the Masters played in Augusta, Georgia. But she couldn't go at 17 because she had prom. But she said that Rory McIlroy would not win. He would not win. I sounded like the hat there, didn't I? Where I repeated myself. But she said he wouldn't win. And I wanted Rory to win because if he won, he completed the Grand Slams. He's won all 4 majors now. And he's choked for 10 years. Excuse me for looking like that, but I think some squirrels or something just jumped up on Ron's roof because it sounded like the roof was going to cave in. And you know, I'm not going to say that as a joke, guys, because we all know about that place that caved in the other day. A matter of fact, when it did, I spoke about the Chicago White Sox and a player, Octavio Dotel, may his soul rest in peace, lost his life because of that cave-in. But I love the Masters, but she couldn't go at 17. I'm 71. You know, when you look at our ages, we're the same in numbers. It's just that hers is the 1 in the front and the 7 in the back, and mine is a 7 and a 1 and a 1 in the back. So that being said, she said Rory couldn't win, and he did. Took him overtime to do it, but boy, the shot he hit in. The guy he was playing against had to birdie the last hole and hope that he would bogey the last hole, and it happened. So the guy that lost had all the momentum. And he hit his second shot in there. And when he hit that second shot in there, about 7-8 feet away from the pin, beautiful shot. Any golfer, any place would have loved to have that shot. And Rory stepped up there with all the pressure in the world on him. And when I say pressure, only the pressure because he wants to win this, to get the monkey off his back. Money-wise, there's no pressure. The man's a millionaire. Many times over. He'll go down in Golf Hall of Fame, whether he won that event or not. Yesterday solidified it. He went in yesterday. They just didn't announce it. He stepped up there and he takes his club out, takes a practice swing and looks at his caddy, said something, and they both smiled. He takes a look at the green. He looks down at his ball. He looks at the green, and he went into motion, and he started to swing that club, and he come down and went whoosh. And that ball started to sail. And to say he hit a good one is an understatement. Remember, the first guy was 7-8 feet away. Excellent birdie opportunity. But that birdie opportunity from 7 or 8 feet got a lot harder to make when Rory put his within about 2.5 feet. Almost a gimme. The man that hit first, putted first, and he missed. He two-putted for his par. So there's the pressure of winning with one final punter. You go play another hole. He hit it right in the middle of the cup. And the reaction, and the reason I'm telling this story, guys, is because of the reaction. The reaction this man had. He literally went to his knees, almost put his face, he might have put his face on the green. He may have kissed the green. And he burst into tears. And when he was interviewed, he burst into tears. The emotion he had for winning. And that's what makes sports so invaluable. That's why we have to save sports. That's why we have to save them. Because the emotions, the happiness, the joy it can bring everybody. I know myself, as I watched him, I sat with tears in my eyes because, not because I had anything in it for it. It didn't matter to me one way. I was rooting for him, but it didn't matter. I liked the other guy too. But man, what a day. But I also told the stories because Kai Trump said he couldn't win it. And he did, which surprised me because I thought they were friends. I know Kai has went golfing with Rory, 17 years old. Why shouldn't she be golfing with the best golfers in the world, So, I'm going to go into the kids and talk about them a little bit. If there is new people on here tonight, I'm happy. If you're saying I look nice, thank you. If you're telling someone else they look nice, I thank you for them too. Multi-Troy 63. As I said, if there is new people on here tonight, we have a little different way to do it. We always have a little segment with the kids. We have kids like Super Jimmy, who at 11 years old does not want to admit he's a child. He's profoundly loved on this show. And me and Ron was just talking a little bit ago about special beds. And they're supposed to be brought to the public in May. And when I first read that, I thought, here we go again. First it was supposed to be in, but no, I don't think that has anything to do With us here, if you have currency, if you know someone that has currency that can get you in, and I'll cover that in a little bit, and I'll cover what I meant about that. But then we have Patriot 7, and I was driving on 113 yesterday, a highway in our area, and I went by this ranch, and I got thinking, wow, this would be great. This could be our ranch. And when I drove by it completely, there was a big old sign, for sale. And Patriot 11, you're the one person I thought about. So I was going to stop, and then I got thinking, I've stopped at places before that I've been interested in, only to nothing happens. So when we get the 800 numbers, I know where the place is. I can go over there. And I mean, places that cost that kind of money in that area probably won't sell very, very quick. It'll probably take a while, because just the house alone would probably sell for close to $1 million, with all the fencing for the ranch and all the property and the buildings and everything. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit high. So not to say it won't sell today. I'm just saying I think I got a little time. Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp, I hope everything's going good with your family. I hope school is going good. And look at here. If you're like most of the schools, you get Friday off this week. And you get Monday off next week. I know that's what the schools in this area all get. And I do apologize, everyone, because I need to shave. But my White Sox won 2 games in a row. And I wore the same clothes. Now, I got different ones on today. They almost won 3. They should have won 3, but it wasn't to be. But 2 in a row. And I didn't shave, so I need to get that done later today or tomorrow morning. Patriot Boogie, Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo are 4 boogers. You guys should be getting very, very excited. I mean, I know to me, Easter was always a great time. You get your Easter basket. And actually, even in Illinois, I'm seeing the opportunity where people can color eggs this year. We've actually had eggs go on sale this week for like $3.29, $3.39. To myself personally, I still think it's too expensive. But I want to tell you kids a joke. Because, they're changing the way you eat. You go and you get chicken nuggets and chicken this and chicken that. So I wanted to tell you kids a joke before I go any further. And someone who works at a chicken place, like if I was to work at a chicken place, I guess what my job description would be, I would be a chicken tender. I thought it was cute. It's a joke that you can tell kids. And when I get to my grandkids here in a little bit, talking about them, one of them always is looking for me to tell them a joke or two. And I keep them clean. I don't tell them naughty ones. Well, the other day, one of them was on the verge, so I'm the papa, so I can stretch it a little bit. Chicken tender. Wow, I'm sitting here, and Ron's got the ball game, the Yankees, on, and I don't know if you guys are following, the kids and grown-ups, if you're following sports, but the Yankees are now winning 2-1, and both their runs are home runs. I mean, I think they've hit like a gazillion home runs already this year. Congratulations to Aaron Judge, who was named the captain of the USA team this year when all the countries play each other in a little tournament. Congratulations to him. But our boogers, you have a tremendous grandpa. And in a way, he reminds me of me because there's nothing he wouldn't do for his grandkids, of which I feel the same way. And I might have upset a couple people over the weekend when something happened, but it kind of happened and kind of hurt a couple of my grandkids. And Ron was the first one to remind me, no one hurts your grandkids. They can do whatever they want to me. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. But they did something that hurt two of my grandkids, and I pretty much told them how the hog ate the cabbage on that deal. I wasn't pleased. Let's put it this way, I got my point across. Patriot little Leona and little Ilana, you know, Leona, Grandpa Mike sent me some pictures of you and videos of you, and she's into these building blocks, guys, and she's so cute building them. She is just turning into a little doll. And I'll have to get in touch with Grandma about Leilana and see when I'm going to get some new pictures of her. I wanted to see if I could pull something up here. No. Do it this way. Bear with me. Patriot Princess, our queen, and Patriot Hunter, her brother. Our princess, our queen, our all everything. You know, I think the world of you guys. I can't wait to meet each and every one of you children and have a party with you guys. I'll tell you later in the week, but I'm also tell all the children tonight, I hope you have a great Easter weekend, a great Easter day, and just remember what it's for. So now I'm going to get into my grandkids. And we all know about the little monkey. She was so happy because, see, they only have 4 days of school this week. Well, she only has 2. She has today. But I thought they only had 3 days. I thought they only had 3 days of school.
I see something funny here on my screen.
And
that thing on your shirt. I was trying to delete it.
No, this is my shirt. This is I don't know. They told me who it was. This was bought for me. This shirt was bought for me 2 years ago when my grandkids went on vacation to Alabama. And they brought me this shirt back.
That's not it. The funny part was I tried to delete it.
Oh, Ronnie's trying to delete the shirt. He thought there was something wrong with his screen. That's what it's about. Oh, now the Yankees are winning 3-1 on another home run. But anyway, the little monkey, I thought that she was off Thursday and Friday this week, which would have taken 2 days of the babysitting from me away. I'd only had her just Wednesday of this week. But then we found out she's off Friday, and then Monday, which Monday is my ex-wife's day to pick her up. So I get her 2 days, and she was so happy because she says, Grandpa, we made a mistake. You get me 2 days this week, and you get me all 3 days next week. So out of 4 days, I have her 3. But anyway, she's into dance. She does a lot of gymnastics. It's just that they're not paying for her to go to gymnastics right now because she wanted to get into dance. And on May 10th, a Saturday, at 10 o'clock, it's kind of funny how that month is running because, see, on May 5th, which is 5, and she was actually born 5/5, 2020. But on 5/5 is her birthday. It's her golden birthday. She'll be 5 years old. And on May 10th, she's having her dance rehearsal. And they had to pay money for her to get her a dress. And this is what she's going to look like at her dance rehearsal. Oh, I knew it would do that. Always does. Right there's what she's going to look like. So my daughter posted this today on Facebook, and she says, anybody wanting tickets, comment, and I'll get them because you have to have them in order to go. So since I like music so much, I commented with a song, I'll Be There, with a love so oh and true. And I think they got a big kick out of that. Then there's Patriot little Kira, who she's growing up and she's getting into things and she's doing things that she shouldn't do. And we're going to have to work with her to show her what's right and what's wrong. Patriot Small Hank, whose birthday is this coming Saturday. So it's going to be a busy weekend. They're going to go take him out to pizza for the family. He had a kid's birthday party. This past Saturday, they had 12 kids. They went to the movie theater where they had a room where they could have cake and ice cream and presents and all that. Of which, because, you know, you don't have a birthday party and just give presents. Everybody who comes to the birthday party has to get a present too. I'm glad I'm done with kids having birthday parties like that, because as many kids as my daughter used to invite, it would have broke me. I'd have had to work overtime to hope I could pay for it. So it's a big week for him. Patriot 7 is starting baseball practice. He has his first game this month. And he was told by his coach, they're going to work him as a pitcher. They're going to work him as a shortstop or a second baseman. The kid has potential, but what I don't understand, he's going to be 10 years old in September, and by the time I was 10 years old, I was in my third year of Little League, and this is his first. And the thing of it is, the kids are nowhere the ball players we were at when we started at 8 years old. Why? Because of just what we're doing right now. Cell phones, tablets, computers, TVs. But the one thing I will say about Liam, Patriot 7, he does take the time to get outside. So he's going to be rewarded with an early birthday present. Papa's going to go in. He's going to go online. He's going to get him one of those screens that you can set up that's got the strike zone on it. And he can put it in his front yard. And he can pitch to it. And as the weather starts to get warmer and I'm over there babysitting, we're going to take the screen down to the ballpark. And we're going to set it right behind where the catcher would be. And I'm going to let him pitch off the mound to get him ready. I'll do whatever I can to make him the best player he can be. And then Patriot super gymnast. She's the one I was telling you about, that she's always asking me, hey, Papa, you know any good jokes? So I'm constantly trying to find good jokes for her, you know, and I haven't told her the one about the chicken tenders. She might know it. Every now and then they get on the show. So that concludes the show tonight so far for the children. And some of the things I want to talk about to the adults. Now, I want to make sure everybody understands. I want to make sure everybody understands that these videos are not made for children, because every now and then I slip up and I might say something naughty. It's nowhere near like it was when I was first starting the shows. I used to say a lot of things naughty. it was my show, but then we got kids to start watching. And I've cleaned it up almost perfect. I don't say too many cuss words anymore at all. But it's not meant for children. They can watch it, though, if they have permission from their parents, grandparents, legal guardians, someone who says it's okay. The music that we played tonight is for entertainment purposes only. We have absolutely no legal rights to this music. We just do it for entertainment. We do it because our group is proud to be an American. And we play this music every night. Some people say I mock the president because that's what he always comes out to, but I really didn't realize it. It's just a song that I think should easily go down in Musical Hall of Fame, along with the singer. I've been a big fan of his for years and almost got to see him a couple years ago. Had the tickets bought, but I got very sick, and that was one of the times that they told me, legally speaking, you should be dead. So it wasn't in the cards for me to see him, but I will. So anyways, one of the things I want to talk about is the scamming going on. The scams that they're running. Guys, if you remember, I posted something the other day. About the scam that's going on where people will come on Facebook or social sites and they'll want to be your friends. Well, we're already friends. Well, I know, but my account's been hacked and I want to be your friend now. If you get that, never make these people your friends a second time unless you've talked to them personally. The scam that's going on, they'll do this, and then they'll come on and they'll start talking to you. Since they really don't know you because they're not your friend, because they'll come on Messenger and talk to you. Since they're not really your friend, they don't know you, so they don't know about you, so they don't know what to say. But after about 5 minutes of chatting, they'll say, hey, have you heard about this company? I don't remember the company's name. I should, but I don't. And when they did it to me, the lady who did it to me was a lady named Sharon Brown. And I said, no, I've never heard of that. Why? And they said, well, they'll give you money away and they'll have it to your house, cash within 7 hours, if you qualify. So she gave me a link. Well, now to give you an update on Sharon Brown, when she was 5 years old and I was 7, Sharon and her brother Donnie moved into our house, and my mom kept them just like they were her own children for 4 to 5 years, while their mom was getting her feet on the ground. They're the niece and nephew. Sharon is the niece of my brother-in-law, Ray, my sister's husband, who passed away last year. So I've known Sharon since I was 5. Now, you got to take into consideration, at this time, my sister wasn't married to Ray. They were just dating. He was in the military, gone, while they were staying there. That's how amazing of a mother I had with children. So, she was the first one. The second one was a guy by the name of Larry Ringy. Larry, I started working with him over 40 years ago at G&B Battery. He became a foreman. We've been friends for 40 years. We're friends on Facebook, and he's constantly posting. Larry has got very big since he left G&B, because all he ever posts is stuff about food, the best place to get this food and the best place to get that food. And I believe he knows by experience, because I believe the way the size of him, he's going there and testing them. And it's nothing bad. It is what it is. But then he asked me if I've ever heard, and they tell me, well, what they do is they get you to contact his place. And they say, oh, yes, Mr. Anderson, you've qualified. And this is the amount you've qualified for. You can get 100,000, you can get 150, 200, 250, all the way up to $1 million. But the catch is, see, to get it delivered for 100,000, you got to pay 1,000. For 150,000, 150,000, 1,500, and it just keeps going up. 200,000, 2,000, and I think you guys understand. I said, I don't have that, and I wouldn't pay that, because anytime they ask for money like that, it's a scam, guys. But I said, I won't pay it. And they said, well, why not? This isn't a scam. We will have you the money. And Sharon's telling me, yeah. Sharon, I was skeptical. But then, when I posted this scam on fake book or whatever, Sharon was the first one that commented and said, yeah, they tried to scam me that way too. Larry Ringy, I'm talking to him and talking to him and talking to him and talking to him. And when I went and clicked on the account, somehow he got into the chat with me, into Messenger, without even becoming my friend on Facebook. We were friends regularly, and when I clicked on the Messenger for that friendship, the last time I had heard from Larry Ringy was February 4th of this year, when he wished me a happy birthday. So he knows it's a scam. So just beware, guys. If they're coming asking for money, it's a scam. So today, I get this in my messenger. Someone comes on. Didn't recognize the person, but they're chatting with me, and they said, I've seen you on such and such, and I just wanted to be friends here. So they've probably been on this show here to know. But here's what they says to me. Here's what they said to me. Okay, Ralph, your account is eligible to be paid out through the DOGE system. To set up your payout, you have to apply for a payout and secure payout date. To secure your payout date, you will need to cover the necessary fees associated with the application system, maintenance, transaction, processing, and tax clearance. The total cost for these fees is just under $3,500. We understand that financial situations vary, so we offer two flexible payment plans. Regular payment plan, $99 per week for 37 weeks. Your exact payout date will be secured once you complete the first 5 payments. Please note, this may extend your payout date by 5 to 7 weeks. Premium payment plan, a one-time uptime fee of $3,465 with options. You will be assigned the closest available payout data as soon as your application is processed. So I replied to this and I said, hell would freeze over before I will abide by this. If I don't get any DOG money, then I don't get any DOG money, and it just proves that the current people doing this are the same as the old people, just trying to stick it up our behind. I said, but the one thing I have done is I have an attorney, and I have forwarded this to my attorney along with your IP address, your name, and everything I have here. So someone may come a knocking. Needless to say, this lady is not following me no more on Telegram. And one more scam I want to talk to you about, guys, because I'm trying to make you aware of what's going on. And I'm going to show you. If your car has one of these things, and you're getting out of your car, lock your car the old-fashioned way. Push the button down and close the door. Do not use this. When you get back to your car right now, use your key. And I'm telling you this because there are people sitting within parking lots say, let's go, say you go, and I'm going to tell you exactly the story I heard. The lady was getting out of her car and she was going to run into the store to do a quick errand. She got out of the car and she clicked that little button and her door locked. She took about 4 or 5 steps and she heard her door open. So she turned around and she clicked it again and it locked. By the time she turned around again to take a step, it opened. Okay, Bill. But anyway, she did it 3 times and she walked back to her car to see if there was something defective. And as she's walking back, she happened to look about 20 feet away and there was 2 guys just glaring at her. She was fearing for herself. She changed her plans, jumped in her car, drove to the nearest police station and explained to them what happened. The police explained there is a scam going on where people can do the frequency of that. Somehow they get to where they can use theirs and get in any cars. So that being said, be careful. The police also told him about a young boy who was on a trip, who stopped at a off-road gas station. He got out, put the pump in the car, pumped the gas, and as it's pumping, since he's using his credit card, he locked his doors with his key. He went in long enough to go to the bathroom, get some snacks. So he's going to be in there. He was in there maybe 5 to 10 minutes. He comes out. His car's unlocked. His door was even left open. And everything in it. His laptop. They mentioned several things. Got stolen. Now, maybe now they're just after laptops and keys and stealing your car. I don't know. But it could turn into more. So all I'm saying is be very, very careful because we don't want anybody getting hurt. So, as we move on, our safety features part is done. As we look back at last week, we were told by a lot of people, Wolverine, Bruce, a lot of people, that last week was our week. It was going to be done. To my knowledge, nothing's happened. I would feel a lot better if I just see an arrest. Just an arrest. I was watching a video the other day, some lady was on, they said, all we want to see is just one thing. And I really wish, I don't think I saved it, but I'm going to look for something, because if I did send it to where I can read it, I really want to read this. Oh, that's going to stir crap up. This is what I wanted to read, guys. The hat was sitting with El Salvador's president, just issued a challenge to the hat. He says, you have 350 million people to liberate. This wasn't a photo op. It was a mission briefing. At the White House, El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, looked at President the Hat dead in the eye and said, you have 350 million people to liberate. Bukele isn't just talking tough. He has the results to prove it can be done. He says to the Hat, we turned the murder capital of the world, El Salvador, that's what the journalists called it, into the safest country in the world, in the Western Hemisphere, he said. Critics complain about mass arrest. Bukele fired back. Sometimes, they say, we imprisoned thousands. I like to say we liberated millions. The Hat grinned. That was very good. Who gave him that statement line? Do you think I can use that? Then Bukele hit the heart of the problem. He says to the Hat, to liberate 350 million people, you have to imprison some. That's why it works, right? You can't just free the criminals and think crimes are going to go down. Magically, you have to imprison them so you can liberate 350 Americans asking for the end of crime to end terrorism. No fluff, no fantasy, just facts. This is what happens when real leaders speak truth. America is finally ready to listen. And that was put out by Caroline Levitt. I thought that was one of the most amazing things we've seen. Because what have we been told? One voice. Papa G. Janet. How many times have we been told the first arrest is going to shake the world? But we never get the first arrest. Rahuichakma, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Welcome. You must not be in the United States because you're saying good morning. Too many times, one voice. Exactly. Thanks for answering. Here's another thing. It was never about pills. It was always about power for them. The truth of it is, they never wanted us to know about the special beds. On March 29, 2025, in Cheyenne Mountain, the Hat and RFK Jr. finalized phase 2 of the special bed rollout. On April 1st, 27 military protected hubs became operational. The general public starts the special bed treatments in May 2025, prioritizing veterans, children, and vaccine injured. Now, I know us as holders of currency, especially Zim, is going to get to go before that. I believe veterans, I believe children should go first, but I sure the heck thinks it should be elderly and terminally sick people. And why are they including the vaccine? Nobody told them. Nobody twisted their arm. I was just talking to a lady today, and she said something about me, and I said, I am who I am because I would not surrender, I would not give in, and I would not comply. And I lost a doctor and came about this close of losing my life because without a doctor, I couldn't get my medicine for my heart prescribed. And I ended up in a hospital. And that's when 5 doctors told me, medically speaking, you shouldn't be here. But I had God on my side because he knew I was right and they were wrong. This was never about medicine. It was about silence. It was about stillness. It was about remembering that your body was designed to heal. Special beds don't interfere, they harmonize. The war was never between you and your body. It was between your healing and their control. Unplug from the programming just to learn more. You can find this information on special beds, which you know what they're actually called, technology. Once again, I don't know why they did that. I was going to read the same thing. See what Judy has to say. But guys, all I'm saying is, and I've been saying this now, people are starting to get mad at me because I truthfully believe it's about to happen. I heard from someone today and they was kind of down and depressed, and you know, I just figured that's joining the down and depressed club. And you have the right to stay in the down and depressed club. Or you have the right to join a high energy level, and no matter what happens, even if you get down and depressed, you jump right back into the high level. Because that's where we're meant to be. Guys, we are meant to be here for a reason. Someday we might find out what that reason is. I mean, you can look at me, and you know the reason I was designed to be here is not because my utterly handsomeness. It was because I can talk and tell stories and try to keep people's vibrations up. We have went through so much, this group that has stayed together. And I was talking to Linda. I wrote her a really long message. And Cindy, the reason I did not take your video call earlier was because I was driving and that. But I was talking to Linda and I said, you know, I didn't realize that Linda had been with us for so long until I went into my emails the other day on my email account on Yahoo. And I started at the latest one I've received. And I went all the way through them to the very last one I had received. And she's been there all the time. And I read some of her emails before me and her become really, really good friends. And I mean, this is a lady that's always had a lot of great ideas. And then I started reading, you know, letters from Marianne, and I started reading letters from Cindy, and I started reading letters from Diane with 2 N's, and Myrna and Mike, and you know, all these guys that's on here every night. And I started reading these messages and I thought, wow. And I'm not one that likes to use this term, but I felt, wow, I am really blessed with the family that God has given us here on this show. Because as I was telling the girl last night when I wrote her from the Ukraine, as I was telling her, you know, on March 5th of this year marked the 5-year anniversary of our first show. And the very first show, all I said was, God, I only got 12 people to send it out to. If I can touch one person, if I can make one person believe and get one person to move forward, I think the show's a success. And even though we're a small family, even though we're a family that didn't go out and buy success, that wasn't paid for success, but we kept to our original guns of just honesty and doing the best we can be. I think I've touched a lot more, and Ron's touched a lot more than one person. So Judy note today, trust the plan. The quantum reset has begun. The reset is real. On Monday, 14th April 2025, Big NBG will be official throughout the world. That will come from Mr. Poole on Telegram. Well, if it is, when are they going to let us know? Because, see, I put stuff like that the same way as I put this president from El Salvador telling our president, you have to make arrests. You have to put people in jail. And speaking of putting people in jail, the young man that took the other young man's life was released today on bond. Now, I feel sorry for this young man that did what he did. He ruined his life. He's probably going to end up either with the penalty that he won't be there no more, or he's going to get life. But I feel a lot sorrier for the family who lost their son, who lost his twin brother in his arms, who felt his twin brother's last heartbeat on his hand. See, because it was taken away from him. And then if you go on TikTok, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, they keep talking about TikTok gets an extension till they can find in America. I wish they take it down, because TikTok is starting to get into a program. It's the most racist program out there. I don't want racists. I want white and black to get along. And TikTok, I mean, I'm on the other night and I'm listening to this live program, and they're blaming it on the white kid. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. When I ask, how's it his fault? Because he was annoying the kid who did it. The point is, the kid who did it was a track star, was a football star. He had everything to look forward to, but you know what? He took the same knife to school a few days before and was suspended from the track team. And then went to the track meet and tried to get under the tent of the other people, and they didn't want him there because they knew what he was suspended for, and they didn't want to deal with him. And he took it there too. He took a knife. A 17-year-old boy took a knife to a high school track meet. And you want us to believe there wasn't some intent? I feel sorry for the kid. I wish he could get some counseling. And you know, I'm going to say something that some people might not agree with. But maybe after he serves many, many years. And that's if he's found guilty. All I know is when the police finally caught him, he said, we're arresting you for the alleged murder of this young man. He said, it's nothing alleged. I did it. If he died, I'm the one that did it. He admitted to it. So if he gets put in jail for life, maybe he can revive himself, and at some point, 50 or 60 years old, maybe they'll let him go free. I don't know. I don't deal with things like that. I just know that one boy is never going to get the chance to do anything again. World Quantum Day, Monday, 14th April, a yearly international event dedicated to understand quantum science and technology. Awake, arise, all you children in the light. It's a poem. I'm going to read it. Expect global blackout, activation of emergency system, the demise system of Bitcoin. And there's really not a whole lot more, guys. We're at an hour. I'm gonna say a quick prayer and then say goodnight. I know tonight wasn't a lot of information, but guys, there's not a lot of information out there. I've heard rumors that a lot of the shows are asking not to do shows anymore. So I don't think we'll ever get to that point. But if we do, we do. But I will do everything I can to let everybody know. For everyone who come on tonight, I thank you. I really do. Yeah, I really thank you for coming on and allowing me to share things with you. Uh, I uh, I hope that we get our blessings this week. I hope that we get everything we're looking for this week. But one way to make that happen is stay positive. Say hi. Night One Voice. Dear Lord, as we come to the end of tonight's show, just look after everyone, all the children, all the people that was here tonight, all of our family members, loved ones, for all of us, Lord. Look after us all and take care of them. Lord, a special look out to Eddie Anderson, the next door neighbor of Ron, who was put in a hospital yesterday, and he's went through so much as his wife was just buried last week. And look after all these people who need your love, companionship, and support. Just look after us all and take care of us as we go through these times, preparing for heaven on earth. As we pray to you through our Savior, your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Good night, everyone.